Alright, so you've arrived at your destination, you've gotten off the bus, and you're ready to start doing some mat side scoring. So let's say you have a dual meet tonight against Lincoln High School or something like that. You can see I've already logged into the sample account. Your account obviously will have a different name on it. The sample account has 3 scorebooks in it, one for the A squad, one for the B squad, and one for the C squad. So let's say we're going to have a dual meet against Lincoln High School, and it's going to be an A squad meet. So I'm going to double click on that scorebook and open it up, and you can see I've already entered an event here against the Lincoln Jaguars. It's a dual meet. If you want to know how to enter events, there's a separate video on the YouTube channel under my name, Mr. P Teaches, on how to set up events in Matchmaker DSWeb, both dual meets and tournaments. So let's open up this dual meet and start scoring. So just double click on it, or you can click once and click this open event button. But I'll just double click, and you're taken to the dual meet score page. So up here at the top you can see Matchmaker DSWeb. You can get access to your roster. You could go back to the scorebook main page, which is back here where we were. At any time. I'll go back into the dual meet here, and you can go back and forth. You can edit matches anytime. You can do it 10 days later if you need to, if there's a scoring problem or things like that. If you need to add kids to your roster, you would just click on this roster button and be taken to your own roster. Click the previous page to come back to the dual meet, so on and so forth. So, as we all know with dual meets, there's always a flip of a coin at the beginning of the meet to determine odd or even. So let's say the coin flip goes to Lincoln, and they decide they want to be in the even matches, or that they want even, so they would be presenting their wrestler first in even numbered matches. You just go down here to this odd even checkbox here, and automatically you'll notice samples team switches to odd, and so on and so forth. So if odd chose, or sample chose even, then this one will get switched back. So this is where the team scores are going to be showing up. Kind of looking around the page here, this gray box is where you're going to be doing your mat side scoring. This is where the team scores will show up, and you can see a couple of extra buttons here, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. Down at the bottom is where all your matches are going to get listed. If you want to keep track of who the official was, you can certainly put that in here. So let's say the official's name is Jack Spratt. That'll keep track of that information too. So if you ever do want to go back and see who officiated a certain match, you can certainly do that. Alright, so the meet's ready to start, and let's say we're getting ready to start the 106-pound match. What I've got to do is just add a match. So go down to the bottom here and click the button that says Add Match. And you'll see now the gray box disappeared, and we're ready to start doing some mat side scoring. You'll notice a green area at the top, a red area at the bottom. Now if I choose switch red and green here, what's going to happen is those boxes will switch places. So the top box is for our team or your team, and the bottom box is for the opponent. So we got to set up who's wrestling here first. So go to the drop down menu here. It says our wrestler, and automatically you'll notice that your wrestlers in your roster are listed in this. So let's say it's going to be Maury Povich. It's going to be 106-pound weight class. Now you'll notice here the weight class thing is not showing up, and that's because I haven't chosen my weight classes yet for the scorebook. So I'm going to go back to the scorebook main page and go down to here where it says weight classes, and I'm just going to use the default weights, and now I should be good to go. So if I go back to the Lincoln Jaguars here and start that match over again, you'll see that the weight classes do show up. So Maury Povich, 106. Now you can see those weight classes showed up in there. Okay. Against, and again, I'll just make up a name here, Joe Blow. And obviously he's going to be from Lincoln, so I don't need to enter his team. You'll notice in the scoring area here, this little blue set of words that says second period choice. That goes according to the odd and even that got chosen at the coin flip at the beginning of the meet. So the match is started and we're ready to go. Let's say Maury gets a takedown. These symbols here are actually buttons, and when you click on a button, it loads that symbol into a kind of like a clipboard to be put wherever you want. So let's say Maury gets the first takedown. I just click on the button, click in period 1 here, and automatically Maury gets 2 points. And you'll also notice a little asterisk here. That designates Maury as the person who scored first points. And we all know later in the tiebreaker situation that does become important. So Matchmaker keeps track of all that for you. And as far as scoring the rest of the match, all you do is click the button that you want and click in the appropriate period box, and you'll notice that the individual scores are updated as you go. So let's say Joe all of a sudden gets an escape, they're back on their feet, and that ends the first period. So now for the second period, the red team will get their choice, Lincoln. And so Joe decides he's going to defer. You'd go down here and choose defer. That moves the choice to Maury here at the top. And so let's say Maury decides he's going to choose bottom. So we're ready to go. The referee blows the whistle. They start wrestling. And let's say Maury gets a reversal. You just click on the R2 here and click in the period, and it automatically puts that in there. Now you'll notice again the points here are automatically updated by Matchmaker, so you don't have to do that work. And then Maury, let's say Maury puts Joe on his back. You would just click the near fall. So he got another near fall, and you can see you can just keep clicking or adding. You can even type in the symbols if you'd rather. And Matchmaker knows how to read those. Let's say he rolls them again, gets another near fall. So now we're in a major decision situation, and we'll talk about team points here in a second. And let's say all of a sudden Maury gets the pin. Well, then all you would do is go over here where it says won by, and this is special ways to win. In other words, where the match ends early, either by fall, default, DQ, or forfeit. Now you'll notice there's no technical fall in here. Matchmaker will read the score and declare a technical fall wherever that's needed, so you don't need to worry about that. So let's say Maury wins by fall. You just click that checkbox and put in the time if you'd like. So let's say it's, 3 minutes and 44 seconds. When you're all done and ready to post the result, you're going to click this button that says Save Match Data. And so when you click that, you'll notice the team scores got updated here. Sample is now ahead 6-0, and that match that we just scored between Maury and Joe is listed down here in the list box. So now let's say we've got another match going again here at 1:13. So we click Add Match. And this time, let's say Ed is wrestling at 1:13 against Mike Hill or something like that. Now, one other option you have here, let's say this is a B squad or JV or C squad, where this is like an exhibition match that shouldn't count for team score. There's a little checkbox here that says non-scoring, and if this is checked, then Matchmaker will not count this match in the team scores down here. And so you can have extra matches, exhibition matches, things like that. It'll still keep that accurate team score. So Ed and Mike start wrestling, and you'll notice now Ed has the choice because he's the second match. This time, let's say Mike gets a takedown and maybe a 2-point near fall. And Mike's really good at cradles or something like that, so he's just turning Ed all the time here and getting near falls and racking up points. He decides to let him go. So now Ed gets an escape, and Mike goes back to work again, gets another takedown, and that maybe ends the period. So now we're at 11-1, and this time it's Ed's choice according to the blue words here. So Ed chooses maybe top. He's going to try to turn him. Well, Mike gets a reversal and another 3-point near fall. Now we're in a technical fall situation. So the match has ended. You do not need to click any of these check boxes over here. because it's a technical fall, and Matchmaker will automatically add that 5 points to the team total based on the score. So again, just click Save Match Data here, and you'll notice now Lincoln has 5 team points. And every match will keep going in that same vein. A couple of things you might want to know about. Again, I said you could switch the red and green, so based on who's red and who's green and who the official decides, you can click that box. If there's a team point deduction, you'll notice a field here. Let's say there's some sort of a misconduct, a bench penalty, or things like that. If you just enter a point value in here, it'll automatically deduct it from the team's score. And that way Matchmaker can keep track of accurate point totals and things like that. There are a couple of buttons here in the middle where there's a separate video on breaking ties. Keeps track of takedowns, near falls, reversals, number of wins, number of losses, all that kind of stuff, so that if there is a tie score at the end of the match, you can just click one of these buttons and the referee will be able to just look at the Matchmaker scorebook and decide who the winner is. Then Matchmaker will automatically add 1 point to that team's total and post the results in the scorebook. So that's how you score a dual meet. If you're looking for other videos on how to do other things in Matchmaker, please visit my channel on YouTube, where you can view all my videos on how to use Matchmaker products. The channel name is Mr. P Teaches.